Frank, do you think that whether it's Trez or Kuz or THG, kind of just getting these consistent minutes, getting more shots, do you think that kind of cohesion and consistency has helped over the last couple of weeks? Have you set into somewhat of a pattern here?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think it was right before the Utah game. We decided to keep those guys. Starting Keefe and bringing Kuz off the bench, and then with Mark going down, deciding to keep Trez coming off the bench has really solidified that unit. The last two games, actually the last 3 games, huge positives with our bench unit, and Kuz and Trez are both largely responsible for that with the way they've been playing and settling into a rhythm.
And then Frank, these fourth quarter, just with LeBron in that screen roll with Trez, seemed like both these last 2 nights that made a big difference. I know it's a simple action, but what are you seeing from LeBron, especially orchestrating those things?
Well, he's obviously the best reader of pick and roll action in the game, and Trez is a dynamic roller. We tweaked the spacing, gave a little bit of a different look tonight with that action that we were running, and Minnesota had a hard time figuring it out. So we have a mindset with our system that if we run a play, it works. We keep running it, and Bron was just put on a masterpiece, and finding 3 or 4, maybe even 5 different options, out of that action.
Dan?
Hey, Frank. In terms of just LeBron's kind of ability to just, when he's triple doubles these last 2 games, haven't looked forced at all. It's just kind of his ability to touch ball passes in the game. What stood out to you in these last 2 performances, and kind of how has it helped other guys kind of get going?
Well, I think I honestly don't think he's been playing that differently than what he's been doing. Leading into the break. I just think that our shooters have come alive. I think we had a little bit of a wall going into the break, and our shooters, everything was short. Our guys got their legs under them a little bit, and the last 3 games they really shot the ball well. So Bron's assist totals are up. But Bron particularly plays the same way each night, and when guys are making shots, he's going to get triple doubles, and I just thought he played 3 really strong games.
Frank, I know you got a lot of games coming up, and you got to focus on those. But is there any part of your mind kind of spinning ahead when you do have a more complete roster and thinking, like, how can I keep this efficiency from the bench and the reserves when maybe they're playing less minutes?
I'm not really thinking about that right now, but like I said, I think these guys getting those minutes now and finding the rhythm and the role and the minutes that they're getting, I think they're going to be able to catch that rhythm when we're whole. That's my belief. Trez's role is not going to change because when Mark comes back, he'll be in DJ's spot. Kuz being in a consistent minutes rotation where he's at right now is, I think, finding a rhythm. Talen's played well. Dennis is a lot more comfortable as a starter. So I think it's just part of our process. You figure out your player strengths and weaknesses, what combinations you like and don't like, and then you settle in. So hopefully, when we're whole, those guys will still be in this type of rhythm.
Frank, Kuz said last night, we have to play this way with the current personnel out. How much of the way you played through this back-to-back is intentional and maybe could have been born from that film session you had after the Pacers game where you kind of put this stuff together this way? And how much is it just the rhythm you spoke about that the team's displaying right now?
Well, it's both. I mean, when you lose a guy like Anthony Davis and then you have, Dennis out and Mark out and you sign a 10-day guy, it takes a little time. There's an adjustment period, for how you're going to play. And, our guys have, we hit that stretch while we're playing a bunch of hot teams in a row. So, we suffered from losses, but we stayed together and trusted our process of growth and learning from the film. We did have a good film session after the Indiana game to really tighten up some details offensively, and we've had 2 explosive nights. In particular with way we're shooting the basketball and the way we're passing the basketball. 36 assists last night was a season high, and then we went up to tonight with 37. So, we continue to trust the pass, good things will happen.
So Dan has a follow-up.
Like we saw before the game, Alex getting in some work on the court. Obviously, he was on the bench tonight. Do you have any update on his status moving forward there in terms of the protocol?
No, still on track. Part of, I'm not sure of the exact details, but each day you have to increase your activity level and then monitor symptoms is sort of how the return to play protocol works with concussions. So, his on the court work, which is part of that return to play protocol.
Still on track for
Still on track as of right now. Yeah, he still has to pass certain tests, to be cleared.
Okay, last two. Amanda?
Win. I kind of want to know, how is Anthony Davis's development kind of as a coach, coaching the players during games like this?
Well, he told us flat out on the plane to Golden State that he can never be a coach. He has a newfound respect for our profession. But he's been taking the iPad and trying to go over to the guys and put them in different spots and try to teach them and whatnot. And he's found it quite challenging. So hopefully when he returns, he'll have a newfound respect for what we do.
Okay, last question, Claudia?
Frank, Horton-Tucker made a big impact when he entered the game. How important is he becoming?
Oh, he's vital. His growth is really, you've seen it, starting last year, but, even from the beginning of this year, up until this point. I think last night in particular, having 10 assists with the decisions he was making once he gets to the paint, it was very important to have another dynamic basket attacker, ball handler, to go along with Caruso and Dennis Schroeder out there, to support LeBron. So, he's a very important player for us.